Afternoon. Okay, so today you're going to learn about circles. You may have seen some stuff about circles, and it's not something we're going to go a whole lot into in this class, but it is something I'd like you to know before you head to Algebra 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph this by using x and y intercepts. So if I want to know the x-intercept, that's when it hits the x-axis here. I know that my y value is equal to 0, so I'm just going to plug in 0 into my equation. It cancels out because there's 0 squared is 0. So the square root, I take the square root of x squared and the square root of 25. And keep in mind this is plus or minus 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So also I could graph the y-intercept. Now, along the y-axis, I know that the x value is always 0. So I'm going to plug in 0. Sorry. 0 squared plus y squared equals 25. I don't need the 0 anymore. I take the square root. Y is equal to plus or minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can draw my circle. Now when I look at this, my center is at 0, 0. And my radius is 5. This does come from information in your about your equation, but we're going to kind of investigate a few and then we'll determine what the relationship is between the equation, the center, and the radius. I'm going to move this to the trash can over here. Not really. Oh, let's try it this way. Sorry guys. And then I'm going to clear the screen. So this one says putting it into your graphing calculator. Now, in order to put this in your graphing calculator, it has to be in a y equals form. So I'm going to subtract x squared from both sides. And then I'm going to take the square root. Now keep in mind when you take the square root, it is really plus or minus the square root of negative x squared plus 25. To do this in your calculator, you actually need to go to y1 equals the square root of negative x squared plus 25. That's the positive. And then y2 is equal to this negative the square root of negative x squared plus 25. This one over here will give you something that looks like this. This one over here will give you something that looks like this. Now, it won't be a perfect square. The reason why is because when your graphing calculator does things, it counts all the way from 0 to 10 along each axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That might not be exact. But 5 units this way and 5 units on the y-axis aren't the same distance because each increment is not the same. So be mindful it's not going to be a perfect square if you put that in your graphing calculator.